Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do y'all sermons for June the 25th, 2023. We'll be reading Esther chapter 2 in the Old Testament. Y'all should know who these people are, and if you don't, you will know. And if I have to stop, I will. As y'all know, Esther is about me. So let's begin. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus, Mary James, was pacified, he remembered, see, pacified, you put a pacifier in a baby mouth. Okay. He remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her. Okay, I wouldn't date him. Okay. Then the king's servants who served him said, "Let beautiful young virgins be sought for the king. Let the king appoint officers," which is babies. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Ma Jane, he had a fetish for babies. Okay. Um, let the king, and it was against my will, but you know, yeah, I stopped it. I got killed, so okay, cool. But let the king appoint officers and all the that's because he kept turning me into a kid. Why I kept turning into a kid? Because he liked a kid vagina. Let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the beautiful young virgins to the citadel of Susa, to the woman's house, to the custody of Hegai, the king's eunuch, keeper of the woman. Let cosmetics be given them. Remember I telling y'all he killed the person that finna marry me? The man thought he was gonna marry another woman, but it was really me because I was in the wedding dress and I was a kid though. I was like 5'3". And let the maiden who pleases the king be queen instead of Vashti. The thing pleased the king, and he did so. There was a certain Jew in the citadel of Susa, whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimi, the son of Kish, a Benjamite, who had been carried away from Jerusalem when they took me from the boxing studio. Remember when Mike Tyson? Yeah, my dad. Yeah, that was me. That was not my dad. That was me. Who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captives who had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away. He brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter. She like my uncle. Oh, to my dad. Talking my dad though. Yeah, because I think my dad is Mara Jane's uncle. Yes. For she had neither father nor mother. The maiden was fair and beautiful. And when her father and mother were dead, Mordecai took her for his own daughter. Who? Okay, I thought my mom and dad were dead for a long time. So when the king's commandments and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together to the citadel of Susa, to the custody of Hegai, Esther was taken into the king's house to the custody of Hegai, keeper of the woman. Okay. The maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness from him. He quickly gave her cosmetics, put me on the streets, and her, prostitute with makeup, and her portion of food, and the 7 short maidens who was to be given her out of the king's house. Okay. I think chicken. He moved her and her maidens to the best place in the woman's house. No, the fuck he didn't. Esther had not made known her people nor her relatives because Mordecai, I showed them this article. Because Mordecai had instructed her that she should not make it known. Okay, yes, he kind of did. When all his sister wives would leave, he would be nice to me. Mordecai walked, yeah. I actually fell for him when he was nice. Mordecai walked every day in front of the court of the women's house to find out how Esther was doing and what would become of her. Each young women's turn, each young, they were like, these are sister wives though. Like, they actually were down for it though. I wasn't though, but like when it comes to eating people. Each young woman's turn come to go into King Ashur's after her purification for 12 months. For so were the days of their purification accomplished 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet fragrances, and with preparations for beautifying women. Listen to my son Michael Jackson. Who is it? Video. The young woman then came to the king like this. Whatever she desired was given her to go with her out of the woman's house to the king's house. In the evening she went, and on the next day she returned into the second woman's house to the custody of Shagaz, the king's eunuch, who kept the concubines. She came into the king no more, unless the king delighted in her, and she was called by name. Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, came to go into the king, she required nothing but what he gave the king's eunuch, the keeper of the woman, advised, which was Orlando. Bash. Esther obtained favor in the sight of all those who looked at her. So Esther was taken to King Ahasuerus into his royal house in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. The king loved Esther more than all the women, and she obtained favor and kindness in his sight more than all the virgins. Don't seem like it. After he died, yeah. So that he set the royal crown on her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. He didn't make me no queen. Then the king made a great feast for all his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he proclaimed a holiday in the provinces and gave gifts according to the king's bounty. When the virgins were gathered together the second time, Mordecai was sitting in the king's gate. Esther had not yet made known her relative nor her people, as Mordecai had commanded her, for Esther obeyed Mordecai like she did when she was brought up by him. Okay, I don't think I obeyed him. In those days, while Mordecai was sitting in the king's gate, two of the king's eunuchs, Bigthan and Dresi, okay, maybe if he was trying to kill my family, yeah, I kind of obeyed him then, but other than that, no. Who were doorkeepers, were angry and sought to lay hands on the king Ahasuerus. This thing became known to Mordecai, who informed Esther the queen, and Esther informed the king in Mordecai's name. I really want to. Not right now, though. I'm working. When this matter was investigated and it was found to be so, they were both hanged on a gallows, and it was written in the book of the Chronicles in the king's presence. Cool. After Michael got killed, I hung myself. So it was kind of the same because Michael still hung, though. So, yeah, it makes sense. And I don't know if Bash hung himself with me in PC. I think it was just me they hung. They just hung me. But I think that part for Michael. Okay, see? Well, that's chapter 1 in Esther. That's chapter 2 in Esther. Enjoy. They told me to do it like this. I'm doing what the Most High told me to do. Okay, I'm out. Peace.